Hi, my name is Nicole Kozni, and today we're going to be talking about the importance of wine in ancient Greece. It had religious and medicinal purposes, and first we're going to be diving into the religious purposes of wine. First and foremost, wine was used as a way to worship Dionysus, god of wine. It was believed that wine was a gift sent from the gods to the mortals. Ancients didn't understand the drunkenness that came with wine, so they often believed it to be supernatural and a way to connect with the gods and goddesses. This allowed for wine to be part of sacred rituals and a way to worship gods, especially Dionysus. In Euripides' Bacchae, it introduces the cult of Dionysus. Euripides tells the story of a cult of women in Thebes who engage in ritual behavior which bring them closer to the god of wine. The Bacchae was very popular in Greek theater, which had an influence on how people viewed Dionysus. It had an influence on the society in ancient Greece, and it created a divulgence and civic worship of Dionysus. It also led to the creation of Anthesteria and the Symposium. Anthesteria celebrates Dionysus' gift of wine to mortals. It ends with a sacred marriage, which symbolically links wine and human fertility within the city and within oneself. This goes to show just how symbolic wine was in ancient Greece when it came to religion and society as a whole. Wine was a symbol for fertility and connections to the divine. The Symposium was made to build social connections and think about the world. It was thought that wine could turn men into thoughtful and reflective people who would have deep insight. They would drink wine out of a calyx. This calyx is very similar to what would be used during a symposium ritual. It was custom for Greeks to drink wine out of a calyx, showing its religious importance. Artifacts like these, that are solely used for wine, identify it as a crucial aspect of society. The combination of artifacts in ancient Greek texts like the calyx and Euripides' Bacchae helped to emphasize the religious importance of wine to ancient Greeks. It was used in many rituals to worship gods like Dionysus and played an important role in connecting the Greeks to goddesses. Next, we're going to talk about the medicinal purposes of wine. Wine was thought to be a cure for many things. It was believed to cure wounds, injuries, anxiety, fevers, and many other issues that ancient Greeks and warriors may have faced during war. These medicinal uses of wine were explored by the Greek physician Hippocrates. Hippocrates was a major figure in the medicinal history of ancient Greece. He popularized the theory of different wines providing different therapeutic properties. Written in 400 BC, Hippocrates wrote on regimen in acute diseases. This introduces the theory of wine and its effects on the health of oneself. Wine was distinguished by color, taste on the palate, or their consistency. He found that hard wine may lead to a heavy head and more troubles thinking, while soft wine prevents this. The concept of diluting wine with water to prevent parching of the stomach is born. It has a huge effect on society, as those who didn't dilute their wine were viewed as barbarians, unlike the sophisticated higher classes of Greeks who were in close association with the gods. The idea that wine must be drunk wisely and not in so much excess that it begins to have negative effects on the mind and body are born. Diluted wine became popularized to the point where ancient Greeks began to use what is known as a crater. Sometimes honey or salt water was added to the crater for taste, but the crater allowed for one's composure and self-control. The crater was most commonly placed in the center of a room as a vessel to mix water and wine in. The Britannica describes a crater as a large vessel with a broad body and base and usually a wide mouth. They may have had horizontal handles placed near the base or vertical handles rising from the shoulder. The crater was a fundamental ornamental piece to homes in ancient Greece, highlighting the importance of wine in every household. It was viewed as a healing element to the body instead of a drink to be misused in a barbaric way. Whether it be through the writings of Hippocrates or the presence of craters in many homes in ancient Greece, we can see the medicinal purposes of wine. It was not overdrank to avoid social judgment, but rather used as a way for the body to speed up natural healing abilities. This emphasizes how the medicinal role of wine made it crucial for society. They viewed it as a way to be healthy. So with the religious aspects and the medicinal purposes, we can see just how important wine was to ancient Greece.